This is an entire army of girls nervously looking on as their future is about to get decided in a 1 versus 1 duel. On one side, we got the goddess Ra about to face off against the only man in the world that has tasted her big whopper meal. On the opposite end, we got Harang, the prince behemoth, ready to dip his Raising Cane's chicken fingers inside the big whopper in front of him. And so the greatest anime duel is about to begin, but Ra instantly asks the boys how long they think Mr. Chicken Nuggets can last inside her sweet and sour sauce. However, our boy is not even remotely deterred by his queen's attempt in trash talk, as he knows things are about to get super fun, especially with an entire audience from both kingdoms watching, ready to see his ultimate reveal of his Chad powers. Meanwhile, for the first time ever, the elite Garimbi have finally witnessed the rank 1 swordsman of all time smile, so things might get super sussy real quick. Regardless, our boy readies his defensive stance, looking like a super sigma male, since Harang knows this is a do or perish situation, and he really wants to live another day, as he promised Blondie and Hira a rice cake smashing appointment in the future. Elsewhere, Silty watches on while still on top of the mountain overlooking the duel, but it finally dawned on her that Ra is a genius, since she probably planned this all along to make sure Harang gets an audience in front of the masses to showcase his skills. And out of anyone else in the world, the only person that can confirm how overpowered Harang really is actually herself, so she's actually super mega brain bro. Now the crazy part is, if Harang is actually able to go toe-to-toe with Ra in front of everyone, then they will all know that our boy is strong enough to challenge the North Wind for the throne. Regardless, the battle finally starts with Ra making the first move, as she's the best Stacy of all times, so within a blink of an eye she made headway within Harang's attack range. She then attempts to deliver a strike, but her blow barely misses due to our boy's insane matrix dodging abilities even in the face of blistering speed. However, Ra is unlike any other opponent he's ever faced before, as our girl instantly reappears like an upper-rank 6 demon, giving Harang no breathing time as her attacks are relentless. Luckily, our boy is somehow able to perfectly parry all the upcoming blows from her, almost as if his ultra instincts is on another level compared to the goddess. But again, within another blink of an eye, Ra disappears like my silent farts within the wind, leaving her totally untraceable with the naked eye. And within a second, she swiftly reappears from behind and attempts another devastating blow, exactly just like when the enemy jungler happens to be a pro Shaco. Fortunately for our boy, his intense focus allows him to literally dodge last second, leaving just an inch between her final blow and his body from making contact, so Harang knows she's not holding anything back. Meanwhile, Ra's oldest and richest oil simp can only watch on as he starts getting more jelly than my belly, due to him being unable to comprehend exactly how Harang's power level is over 9,000. With the battle heating up and becoming more intense as the seemingly infinite seconds pass, Karim realizes that his younger brother really is the real deal. As such, Karim begins to get flashbacks to the time when he first encountered Ra in the wild, where she absolutely destroyed him to pieces like a honey badger against its prey, and there was not a thing he could do to prevent his first loss. Now, I don't blame our bro for forever simping for Ra, as her short hair totally hit different back then, cause she looking like a true goddess here. Anyways, back in the present, Karim's eye widen even more as he watches Harang continually keep up with Ra, and unlike Harang, it took years for him to even last more than a minute against her in battle. Nevertheless, both the Prince Behemoth and the Goddess Reincarnation start smiling like absolute menaces in the middle of battle, as no one up to this point in their life has ever kept up. And just like that, Harang has started to think playtime is soon over, as he's secretly finished downloading Ra's entire skill moves, so he readies to go on the counter. Ra, however, has other plans, so she tries her best to keep Harang from the offensive, as she wants everyone in the world to see this boy should be the future king. But the turntables turn in just a few seconds after Ra thought she had the upper hand, leading to Harang taking the prime opportunity handed to him to trip her to the ground. Surprisingly, Ra is so strong that right before she hit the ground from getting tricked, she instantly levitated and recoiled back on her feet without her even touching the ground. With just a single blunder in battle, the Blackthorn members start looking a little bit worried, as they are absolutely gobsmacked that their first sword has not yet dealt a finishing blow to Harang. Instead, the boy is still up and running, and this time he's looking like he's finally got the chance to take the upper hand, so he charges on forward like a madman wanting free chicken sandwiches from Pop Eyes. Now that Harang has his best foot forward, his first strike leaves traces of an enormous air blast, showcasing his tremendous strength and power. The offensive blow was so strong that it left Karim in the dust, thinking about how Mukbang was right the entire time. It took him too long to realize that his own father has been hinting to him that his lil bro must be hiding something special, but he was too distracted by Ra's scrumptious rice cakes. Regardless, Karim finally stops being an emo Levi Ackerman and flashes a smile for the first time ever, just like Ra. With every minute slowly passing by, the Black Thorn and the army of girls get even more flabbergasted as they witness Harang keep up with Ra, but to also do so while barely receiving any scratches. At the same time, Seoli is astonished to see that not only is Harang keeping up with her, but she's the only one that notices that our boy is actually making Ra fall behind. Now, this isn't the only time Harang has ganked and surprised her from behind, as his Prince Behemoth has already greeted the papayas of the goddess beforehand. Anyways, as the duel waged on, Harang was able to make headway by continually forcing Ra back due to his immense expert skills he mainly learned from Roblox. However, unlike most people losing a battle, Ra starts giggling and begins to wonder why she's having so much fun, since she's always used to smurfing on some iron noobs and one-tapping them while being the rank 1 Radiant player. Nonetheless, while totally distracted by a feeling she's never experienced before, she realizes too late that Harang is forced to the edge of a cliff without her ever noticing. And our boy was able to do this all while using some trash weapon he picked up from a local barn while Ra was using the best sword of the ages. But as she gets cornered to the edge by Harang, it dawns on Karim that he can no longer stand aside and watch his younger brother take all the spotlight. As such, Karim's inner demons come out and take over his soul, convincing himself that there's no such thing as honor in an all-out war, so he lunges forward like a maniac. In just a matter of just a few minutes, he went from believing in his brother to save them all, to losing to his intrusive thoughts as he wants revenge on the one woman that broke his heart. Even Wong and Maru get absolutely shocked at their captain's actions, as they know no one ever breaks the duel pact unless you are a mega soy boy. However, right before he lands the finishing blow to send the oblivious goddess to the other realm, Lady Karma calls him a mega baka and claps him with an arrow last second. As Karim falls towards Arab due to the impact of the shot, she notices behind him that another blinding light is fast approaching, looking like she's the target this time. And since Arab had a small glimpse of the speeding arrow coming right after her, she's able to luckily stave off the attack last second by deflecting it with her trusty sword. She's then able to instantly find out where the arrow was shot from, so she ends up seeing two archers set up directly opposite of the mountain. Unfortunately, she couldn't see who exactly was the culprit as she only saw their shadows, so Seoli comes to the rescue and swiftly orders the Black Thorn to catch the fugitives. With chaos now amok due to the attempt on the lives of the future queen, Seoli comes to the conclusion that it must be the wolves behind this, or else it must be the current queen. Meanwhile, Karim dramatically falls off the edge of the cliff looking totally unconscious due to the arrow, even though bro has taken worse hits in his life before and came out unscathed. Regardless, Ara, being nice, actually tries to save him while he falls to the deepest depths of Gurajam, but she barely makes it on time, so she's unable to catch his hand. With her turning into an angel by attempting to save Karim, she ends up accidentally taking a step too far forward, so she ends up finding herself in a sticky situation. Luckily, Harang, the true Mega Chad, comes to the rescue and grabs her hand to catch her from falling. To Harang's surprise though, instead of Ara being grateful, she instead calls him stupid for risking his life to save her, as he's just going to end up falling as well. But here's the thing, even though Harang has a massive banana tree behind his armor, he's also hiding a big brain, so he's already planned to catch them both using the rope Blondie hid earlier. Simultaneously, useless Maru and Wong try to catch both of them before they fall, since apparently no one cared about Karim. Unfortunately, the other two elite Garimbi members missed out on the Sonic the Hedgehog speed classes, so they were too late to the scene to be of use. Instead of being helpful this entire time, the boys just decide to strike a pose so they can look cool in front of the army of girls. Silence then echoed throughout the entire valley as every single person alive stopped in their tracks, unable to believe what they just witnessed, as both rank ones of both nations just fell off a cliff. No one ever survives. Eventually, Sully breaks the silence as she too could not believe what just happened, so she raises her arm in retaliation, signaling to the girls it's time. Now outraged that the hope of the kingdom of women have been taken out through despicable means, Seoli yells like Erwin Smith and tells her army to obliterate the Garimbi. A hail of arrows then swiftly illuminate the afternoon sky, leaving both Maru and Woon to fend for themselves 1 versus 6,900. Now all our boys got is the power of friendship to keep them chugging throughout this ordeal, while arrows continue to rain from the skies, but they are all Lakers fans, so we know we about to come back 4 straight at Staples.